old song on repeat, cause it seems to forget how much you are hurting me. Do what's right, you say you will, but then you don't. You just don't. You don't care, cause you don't take me seriously. What's there to repair if you don't wanna talk to me? You should know your time is up.
This is a test donation call.
So I'm putting on a lifetime sentence, and you no longer pay my presence. So you thought I would let it stay. Thought you knew me so much better. You're on a lifetime sentence, so now you never feel my presence. So you thought I would let this stay. Thought you knew me so much better. Shout out to the CIA. One love, FBI. What is going on? What is going on? What is going on? We are back in a visit. What is going on, people? Finally back on the live stream scene, doing what we do here in Hot Atlanta. Home base operations by Kevin Samuels, Made Men Image Consulting, FBI, CIA, MIT, X-Men, LMNOP, all that good stuff is going on right here. So first off, I want to say a big thank you to my patrons. My patrons have been kind of holding it down as in this transition time. It seems like we're kind of getting a little feedback. My patrons have been kind of holding it down because in this feedback, in this transition, I don't know if you've ever moved from one city to another, but I will tell you that it's more than a notion. And when I moved, I just decided to go. I tell you, I don't do anything I'm not telling you to do. Build the airplane while you're flying it, because that is how stuff gets done. You know, sometimes, we can get very deliberative and want to have all the T's dotted and the I's crossed, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And there is a place and time for that. You will get no argument from me. However, there also comes a time where action is needed. I say to the guys, the most important thing in CIA is the A. See, a lot of guys who follow, especially on these YouTube spaces, they're comfortable with their level of intelligence. There are quite a few intelligent men that roam the halls of YouTube University. And, not really any real question of whether or not they're competent from a book learning standpoint. Now, confidence, that's where a lot of people struggle, but people are confident in an area. And I will tell you this, men and women, confident.
Kev, CIA, FBI, happy Friday.
Appreciate it, fam. Confidence is the most attractive thing a person can wear. Period, point blank, end of sentence. Confidence, most attractive thing a person can wear. And human beings, animals alike can tell when somebody is confident. What's one of the first things they tell you? Don't act scared of a dog. You act scared of a dog, he will attack. But if you are confident, chances are they'll leave you alone. Stare down the bear. Okay, cool, fam. That's what's up. I don't know what's going on over here, but this looks kind of sketchy. So we're going to get into this. Now, the funny thing is, a lot of times people say they're confident or want to appear to be confident, but you can really tell if someone is confident or the level of confidence when pressed. See, confidence at its root, confidence is silent. Insecurity speaks loudly. And today we're going to talk to the ladies. The ladies, a lot, I want to get into this. Recently here, I just had my Men in Training MIT Dallas, which was a fantastic, phenomenal event. Super proud of all the guys that showed up. I said this one was going to be a game changer for a reason, because in this one, we're going to separate what has been versus what can be. When we took these brothers and went to Highland Park, one of the most affluent areas on the planet, and have these men walk around and understand that you belong here too.
it's a game changer. It's a game changer in every sense of the word, and the way we look at each other, and the way you look at yourself, and that's what I wanted for MIT Dallas. But see, something something I've been talking about is the women's event, and I had women honestly ask me, when is the women's event going to happen? And I have been purposely, I've been doing this in a systematic way. I wanted to get at least 2 guys events under our belt. So one, so people can see them happen, because see, especially on certain sectors of YouTube, people don't believe anything until you show it. And see, when you start showing the work, then it's hard to talk about anything else. If somebody wants to talk while you're talking, if somebody wants to talk about intangibles while you're showing tangibles, you might need to question who you're talking to. Women, I have had multiple women ask me, hey, when's the women's event ready to go? Da, 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 da. And the women's event, I'm slating it for December 7th. That's 4 weeks from now. 4 weeks from now here in Atlanta. It's going to be along the same level of input, but it's going to be a different outcome we're shooting for. And what is that outcome? Well, ladies, I got to ask you, where do you rank? I ran into 5 women in Dallas. Shout out to you 5 ladies who are self-professed FBI, feminine, beautiful, inspirational women. And I have run into, while in Atlanta, about, I'd say around 8 or 9 of the same. Women who are like, I follow the platform, I watch what's going on. I'm an FBI in training. Well, now it's time to have FBI Academy. MIT, men in training, I almost want to call it like a gentleman's finishing school. I don't want to call it men's finishing school because these are all men. I want to call it a gentleman's finishing school. And believe me, we're going to get into it. By the time MIT is said and done, men are going to walk out of here knowing how to change a tire, a battery, know how to change some oil, do some basic stuff around the house. We're making men. But today, it's about the women. And just like I told the guys when we started here in Atlanta, I need you guys to ask yourself one question before we get started. Where do you rank? Where do you rank? Love what you do, my brother. Live in Atlanta, but I'm in Cali now. Get back. I look forward to joining the movement. Peace. Thank you. And I'll be honest, I'm going to make some statements here that are going to be hard to hear, but it's all in love. See, you can tell if somebody's really trying to help you because everybody needs somebody in their life that can tell them the truth. The truth is often a hard thing to hear, but we need to hear it nonetheless. So if you're a woman in the chat room, understand something. Now, FBI is not feminine beauty intelligence. That's not what it is. Come on, Kashmir, you're a moderator. Women are inspirational. Okay, if you want to support the channel or help the movement here, you can do it multiple ways. First off, let's hit the like button, folks. Hit the like button. That likes are free. 131 people watching. We got 32 likes. Let's get the likes up to over 50%. Number 2, do me a favor. Want to support the channel? Throw something there in the super chat. I put the super chat link in the chat box. Moderators, Cashmere Funk, I need you to copy that link that I just put in there, and I need you to keep dropping it from time to time. If you want to become part of the Patreon, see, in order to attend any event, you must be a patron. In order to attend an MIT event, you must be a patron. In order to attend an FBI event, you must be a patron. In order to attend the group event where we got CIA and FBI in the same room, you must be a patron. and I want you to have come to a previous event. See, here's what's not going to happen. Not going to just wait till I have my group event where the men and women are in the same room, and then you're going to show up to that one. No. MIT, FBI, these events are for you to self-improve and get better at your own, for specifically. Another thing, don't wait till I'm in your area before you show up. Muhammad goes to the mountain don't go to Muhammad. No, liquidating properties, then I'll be back dropping these few pounds, then I'll get, nope, we don't wait. See, we don't wait to, that's another false thing we think about. We think, I'll wait till I get in shape and then I'll do the makeover. No, that's not how that works. You do your image consult now. See, I did a video on Patreon that's uploading, and far too often as men, we think I'll do this, then that. No, we got to start thinking about and. You don't do it either or, it's and. You do them at the same time. All right, but back to the ladies. Let's get the likes up. Get the likes up, get the likes up, get the likes up. I need to copy and paste a few things because my Stream Deck isn't working for some reason right now. I apologize. So I have to put my links in here. So in the meantime, what I want for you guys to do, ladies, if you are a lady, I need you to, if you're a woman, go ahead and put a 1 in the chat room. I want to see how many women are in the chat room. If you're a woman, I need you to put a 1 in the chat room. I want to see how many women we have that are in the chat room and are willing to actually peek their head up and say, hi, I'm here. Because like I told guys in Dallas, and there are far more women following these spaces than we really give them credit for. Women are watching these spaces like a hawk. I mean, and ask yourself, are you a woman? Wouldn't you be? Wouldn't you sit around and be like, you know what? I'm getting tired of being by myself. It's cold, it's cuffing season. I'm tired of having to find a new man every season. Shoot, trick this. I need to be found by my man. I need to be found by a thorough dude. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right. So I'm going to ask some of you ladies to join into the panel. You can actually call into the show. I would prefer you to come on camera, but if you don't feel comfortable on camera yet, you can join via audio. Because I want to answer some of your questions after the program. But let me ask you a serious question. Brother BGS, you're going to love this. Can you contend with the high value man? See, oftentimes you hear, especially 92 octane women, talking about they want a man with the 3 6s. You want him to be this, you want him to be that, you want him to be confident, intelligent, assertive. But that is a man that you cannot run over. That is a man with whom you're going to have to contend. That is a man who's a leader and a winner. That is not a man who's going to come into the house and allow you to dominate him. And that's the thing, can you contend with a high value man? And the answer should be no. It shouldn't be absolutely. It should be no. You're not in contention because you're not in competition. I need you to pay attention. These high value men you're talking about, and let's be real, ladies, I work with women, I work with men. My clients are the guys around the world that you say you want, whether they're in process or already out of the oven. I got them in college, I got them in med school, I got them in law school, I got them on Wall Street, I got them in the United States, I got them in Europe, I got them in Africa, I have them in China, I have them in Australia. I got them in. Shout out to the fellas out there. Be prepared to get on this. The book is in process. I am a third of the way through the book. I am getting my mailing list together, and we're about to really take this Facebook and LinkedIn game to the next level. We're going to start. So much stuff is slated for 2020. I don't want to tip it out, but we're the professional guys over here. That's what we are. We're the professional guys, whether white collar, blue collar, we're the professionals. There's no deadbeat conversation over here. There's no dusty conversation over here. There's no unless it, and we don't deal with Swiffers. But I need you to understand that a CIA man is a man with whom you must contend, but you don't want to contend with him. See, get out of the, you cannot, if you say a man, if you need a man who can handle you, you're in the wrong place. See, men of high value men, high caliber men don't have to handle anything. They have options. Shout out to BGS Ibmore. The men that you say you want, I mean, we're talking about, like I said, no woman ever said they wanted a 40-year-old man making $40,000 a year. That's not an insult. That's just a reality. Women don't sit around and say, ooh, I can't wait to get a dude making $20 an hour at 40 years old. That ain't what you want. Well, the men you want understand something. You need to understand where you rank in these men's eyes. And I need you to understand this crystal clear. These kind of men don't care about your resume. They don't care about your degree. They don't care about your career. They don't care about any of that. They care about your beauty. Your beauty, your femininity, your level of cooperation, submissiveness. Can you get on his program? Can you get in there in the gala or the networking function? Can you go to the holiday party and work the room on his behalf? And come back and say, honey, I got this man's, I got the mayor's, I got this person's conversation. I got this guy, he wants to talk to you about your business. I got this person. Is she in there, and is she your best employee? She's your helpmeet, right? So one thing I need you ladies to understand is harsh truth is something you desperately need right now. If you're over 25 years old, I need you to listen to what I'm about to say. Godfather's coming in love, right? You're already over the hill from an age standpoint, from a fertility and all that other kind of standpoint, for the better part of for the majority of guys you're looking for. Don't judge it, just accept it. Don't give me the exceptions, just accept it. Women's value, ultimate value to high value men, men of status, thorough men, the total package is in your youth, your beauty, your femininity, your cooperativeness, your submissiveness. That's what it is in. That is why it caused such a stir on YouTube when a guy who does not beef said, I prefer not to date women over 30. Okay? So harsh truth is what you need. Now, that doesn't mean you need someone to beat you up, but you do need someone to tell you the truth. I need you ladies, I need the women in the chat room who put a 1 up there. I need you to write in the comment section, who in your life can tell you the harsh truth without you getting mad or vindictive? Who in your life right now can sit you down and say, sis, I need to tell you the truth, the harsh truth, without the direct truth, without you getting mad or vindictive? Go. Fearless says, my dad. Ethiopia said, my sister, my mom. Appreciate you, Kellen. Can you tell us harsh truth about men? What are you talking about? What do we talk about? My best friend. My mom, my dad, my sister, my brother, my best friend. No one in my life will ever tell me the harsh truth. I have to do it myself. Then you need to run to these kind of meetings. We are not talking about men today. This is all about women. Two of my male best friends, father before he passed. Okay, let me suggest something that every one of you that mentioned non no men, that should be a red flashing light. I want to go down the list. From the list is one person said my dad, one person said my mom and my sister, another woman said my best friend, assuming that's a woman. The art of becoming more said my mom, dad, brothers, sisters, female friends. I find that hard to believe that many people can tell you the harsh truth. That's that is in the less than 1% of people have that many people that can tell them the harsh truth without them getting mad or vindictive. Another person said my best friend. Somebody said no one. My husband, my dad, my okay. All right. Your best friend is a man. Okay. Um, that's problematic. If your best friend is a man, you need to listen to these kind of things too. Your best friend should not be a man. If the only people can tell you, if it's not your father or a brother, there should be a red flashing light going on. Father, brother, uncle. Because some guy you met that you called a friend or a best friend, men edit themselves with women they care about when they don't have strong ties to that woman. Familial ties, people can say what they want because you're still going to be your father or brother. Women, for certain, do not hold each other accountable to the level that you need to be held to make a different outcome in the world. See, your female friend may tell you the truth, but not the harsh truth from a man's standpoint, because women, you guys see something different. In short, you need men that you. So here's the follow-up question. Name the men in your life right now that you respect, who are not a preacher or a who does not have a position of power over you, meaning like a vice president of company. So name the men in your life that you have to respect. That's not like in clergy or something. Yeah, thank you, fitness mom. Male best friends are a huge problem. You can't maintain femininity hanging out with them. Nope. And men honestly look at women who have male best friends. No, that is all kinds of issues. And one of the main things when men look at is, why are you hanging with men? You can't hang around women. All right. So name the men in your life you respect. I'm not seeing any answers. Okay. And the reality, we don't even live in the same city. So that's even more of an issue. So here's the thing. You don't have to accept what I'm saying. You don't have to, you can say, you know what, Kevin, you're full of shit. I don't accept anything you say. What I need you to do is look at that left finger. I need you to look at your ring finger and see, does it have a huge rock on it? If not, then I need you to go down to this. I need you to go down to the last time a high value man dropped on one knee and whipped out a significant ring with some carriage in it and proposed to you. If you don't have a wedding ring with some significant carats in it, or you don't have a high value man who dropped to his knee and whipped out a ring with some significant carats to it, because those are my clients. Those are the guys I work with and talk to. Shh. Shh. You're not here because everything is going right in your life. Shh. You're not here at 2:30 on a Friday because you got plans for the evening with your Boaz. Shh. You're not here because you got holiday plans lined up with your husband or your fiance. Shh. I asked name the men in your life that you respect, and there are nobody. Except there was one person who said, okay, condo plays evolving. If you're going to ask me a question, there's a $sign right there to put it in super chat. That's where you put it. If you got a question to ask me, that's where you place it. Super chat. That's what everybody does. Guys, do me a favor. Show some love in super chat. Hit that. I mean, come on now. I'm dropping this knowledge for you ladies because no one else is going to give it to you this way. And honestly, I can help. I really can help. I help all the time. Four men and now three women. Four men have gotten married or engaged this year and attribute following my advice. And I'm not a dating coach, following me as a big part of why they are where they are. And three women. One I met this weekend. Three women. So for a guy who's not a dating coach or relationship advisor, I'm an image consultant, but I work with the very people you're talking about. That's one every other month. How many people do you know that have gotten married or engaged? All right, if you don't have any men in your life that you respect, this is a problem. This is a problem. And you need to ask yourself a question, a real question. Where do you rank among all women, not just your race? Because you have a sexual marketplace value. Think of it as your credit rating in the dating game. And it's on your forehead. We assume what level you're at before we get to know you. And you do have a rank among all women. And the kind of men you ladies say you want have access to all women. What they prefer or what they pick is completely up to them. High value white men have access to all women. High value Black men have access to all women. High value Asian men, all women. Hispanic, all women. Middle Eastern, all women. They have access. So you need to get over the fact of thinking that, well, that means you need to figure out where you rank. And the next part is you need to, after you figure out where you rank, you need to get that verified. As somebody like myself, an image consultant, I'll tell you where you rank amongst your competition for the kind of guys you're trying to be found by. I will tell you a harsh truth in a soft way, but it's going to be direct. And then the most important thing is you need to do your part to improve without worrying about the other folks, without worrying about the men. Let me focus on that again. After you understand where you rank, then it's time to get to work. You need to do your part to improve without worrying about the other part. Okay? Shout out to Angelo. Appreciate it. Shout out to Naomi Buckner. All right. Jedi Mac in the house. All right. We're about to get into some questions. I need to take a quick break right now. Give me 2 minutes. We're about to get into some questions. But I want you to understand why this is important. I need you to understand why this is important. Because if you know you're single and you know you have no real prospects of being married inside the next 12 months, and that's your goal, to be somebody's wife or significant other, I'm gonna get to work. All right, give me a second and I'll be right back. I'm ready to talk some well, we don't talk shit over here. You say you're ready to talk some shit. Well, here's the thing. If you want to talk some shit, you got to put that shit in super chat. You can talk shit, but you got to pay for it. You can pay for the privilege. Ah, you're going to pay for the privilege. You're going to just come up here talking shit. So, ladies, are we ready? Are we ready? All right. Why do you need... So where do you rank, and are you ready for it? Are you ready for that man? Are you ready for the kind of men you say you want? See, one of the cool things about what I'm doing right now is I'm actually showing that work to where I'm going around the country, and I'm showing ladies the kind of men you say you want, they're out here. All the men I was dealing with this weekend were well employed from across the country. I had a doctor in there, an attorney, several guys in STEM. Look, you can't be broke doing the kind of stuff we're talking about. So the reality comes, you got to know where you rank. And if you're over 25, understand something. You've already aged out. In China, they have a word for women over 25 who are unmarried. They're called leftover women. You don't have to like what I'm having to say, but you need someone who'll be able to tell you the truth so you can do something about it. Why do you need to come to something like the FBI Academy down here in Atlanta? I'm going to have it on the 7th of December. What it's not going to be a bash you session. It ain't going to be this is what's wrong with women, this is what's wrong with women, this is what, no. It's going to be actually in the room doing the work, talking to like-minded women and a guy who can actually help you with your actual positioning out here, definitely from an image standpoint. Image is 4 parts: your appearance, the way you behave, the way you communicate, and your digital footprint, A, B, C, D. Understand something. That's what the kind of men you say you want look at. They look at your image. Why do you need this? Well, you need this kind of stuff because you need to prepare yourself to be criticized and to be alone. Sugar P, tell them what it's like when you decide to improve yourself, to level up, to step into be owning and taking accountability and saying, you know what, I need to get this together. When you decide to do that, the friends and family members you have around you who are too lazy, too stubborn, too obstinate, too blind to see the reality are going to criticize you. They're going to be like, why are you going to the gym and working all out? And why are you wearing the dress? And why are you wearing perfume? And why are you doing all this? And why are you doing, you better be prepared to be criticized. Yeah. Room spray from Diptyque. Ombre. Love that. And in the morning, put some bay in here, berries. Oh, this is the dope fragrance I told you guys about yesterday from Louis Vuitton. But this one is coming next. This is dope. And Darkest Night for my vanilla lovers. Look, ladies, when I work with the guys, it's a combination of boot camp and men's school, and boot camp and finishing school. Guys need some tough love and some practical stuff. Guys need something different. I understand something. A lot of you guys did not learn this stuff growing up. So what? It doesn't matter. You say you want a certain caliber of man, then you're going to have to understand what that man wants in his woman. I mean, when really asked, the average 92 octane woman, or even the average 87 octane woman, the average woman don't want to work. Let's just be real. The most of y'all don't want to work. You want your husband to be able to make enough money to where you don't have to go work for another man. You're going to work. I know you're not lazy. I know you're going to do something. You're not going to just lay up in the house and eat bonbons. I know that. You're going to do something, but you may run a home business. You may work in the family business, but you don't want to be out here and competing against dudes like myself trying to climb the corporate ladder, because we're going to kick your butt. When I was in corporate America, I took no prisoners. Okay. So you need to be able to get into a place where you understand you're going to be isolated and alone, but that's not forever. Okay. Understand something. When you decide to improve anyone, man or woman, but in particular woman, you're going to be criticized, because when you go into the gym in the morning, especially when it gets cold, people can be like, "Oh, honey, why are you going out there in the cold? Girl, it's cold out there. Why are you going out in the snow? No, girl, it's snowing." Da, 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 da. That's what they're gonna say. And honey gonna be like, "Psh, girl, please. I gotta get out here and look good for myself, because I know I'm trying to secure the bag. And you guys know over here, I got no problem with now securing the bag, because the bag is just a bold, ambitious, and generous man. I got no problem with that. I got no problem with that. I get no problem with that. Number two, you need to be in this academy, this environment. Wine, Women, and Shoes is a kind of a fundraiser for the Leukemia Society. I'm still coming up with a catchy name, but when you're around like-minded women, especially in the holidays, you're single, right? You don't have family and stuff you're going around. You really don't have anywhere to go for after Thanksgiving. You don't have a nuclear family. You don't have kids to buy stuff for. Let's be real. You need to be around here because you need to be around like-minded women, because you're going to hear this comment come from women who don't want to improve. These men out here ain't worth it. Understand something. Fearless. When you start to improve and take accountability for yourself and start saying, I can change my outcomes for me, you're going to hear women say, why are you doing all that work, girl? These men out here ain't crap. They lame as AF. They're weak AF. They're broke AF. And what you do is this is what you do, Fearless. This is what you do, Sugar P. You be like, maybe the men you hang around are like that. I hang around a different caliber man. I'm evolving. Like, case in point, Sugar P. I just got back in town, right? There's a new restaurant in Shops at Buckhead. It's called La Colonia. It's such a hot spot. You got to book reservations 3 weeks in advance to get in. Godfather has a reservation tomorrow night. Reservation for how many? One. With a table for 4. Why? Because I'm going to go in there tomorrow night cold, knowing nobody. And I'm going to pull people from the bar around the restaurant, and I'm going to video it. I'm going to show you guys me walking up to strange people. Hey, how you doing? I got a table for 1. You waiting? It's a 2-hour wait. Why don't you come share a meal with me? You know what? I just thought about that right now. Why? Because I'm confident that I actually have something to offer to other people. And they would love to share my company, and I already got my table. Those kind of men require something. The guys who are, whether they're, and here's the thing, the guys who frequent these kind of places, they're not trying to be me. They're trying to be their version of their best version of themselves. Refined, rakish road, pretty boy, bad boy, roughneck. Everybody has an ultimate form. That's what we're trying to get to. And I need you to know that these men out here are worth it. Well, then another thing is, why do you need to be around these kind of places and be in the same room with these women? Because you're going to hear other women say, you shouldn't be doing that. These men should be doing all the work. These men need to go conquer the world, slay the dragon, do everything else. And then once they climb Mount Everest, then we'll do the work. You need to be away from that. You need to be away from that. Because what that is a deflection. And that's more of that, I'll do my part after They do their part. An undefined man. And what it really is just another excuse to not have to do anything. It's a scarcity mentality. It's rooted in the fact that you could do all that work and these men still ain't gonna be worth the doggone thing. Okay, fine. Fine. Maybe where you go and what you do, that's what it is. But you know what? You can always go somewhere else and do something else. Oh, or can you? Can they go somewhere else and do something else, Sugar P? That's what I'm talking about. They can't go somewhere and do something else because they don't have the social skills that you have, P. They don't have the social skills to actually leave their hood or their comfort zone and go somewhere else. They don't have the social skills, the social grace, the social IQ. And here's the thing, it's not your fault that you weren't taught this stuff growing up, but it is your responsibility to learn it. You cannot complain about the area you're in and then understand there are no bars or gates you can leave. Okay, so you're going to be criticized and you're going to be alone. They're going to tell you these guys out here ain't worth it. They're going to talk about the guys should do all the work. Uh, they're going to tell you, you know, this is, it's a scam or you shouldn't have to pay for that. You shouldn't have to pay for that kind of stuff. This is all the same kind of thing. Anytime you hear somebody talking about scam or you shouldn't have to pay for this, just leave those people alone. Let me tell you why. Leave those people alone because ultimately, even if you can't understand where it's coming from a negative scarcity mentality. Well, no, it's not coming from that. I just want to know it's going to work before I do it. Yes, they want guarantees in life. Where they do that at? Where they do that at? Where they do that at? And you ask this person who tell you all this stuff, it's a scam, you should not pay for that. I just want some guarantees. How do you know it worked? I need you to ask them, you graduated from college, right? Right. And you went into tens of thousands of dollars of debt, right? Did you have any kind of guarantee that you're going to be when you went to college, what kind of guarantee did the University of uh, Oklahoma, University of Georgia, what guarantee did Howard give you when you enrolled? What guarantee did you get? Where do you get guarantees in life? Where? And I need you to understand when you make a separation from you and when you start making a separation, you need to be all right with that. The officers don't eat with the enlisted men. You can't save them all. And that's what you ladies need to understand. You have pressure. Your time is even shorter than men because of your real sexual marketplace value is different than men's. You're going to have to be okay with becoming the best version of yourself and not worrying about trying to save everybody. You can't save them. You can't save them. You got to save yourself. You got to save yourself. Who are you? Redhead 21? Uh, I suggest many girls my age become a nanny as preparing for housework and childcare. I'm 21 and married. This is the best thing while I wait for children. Okay. Well, if that's let's talk about that. Yes, when I was in college, I knew many girls in sororities who were nannies. And let's be honest, it's not uncommon. Uh, I don't want to talk about starter wives, but I will. It's not uncommon. Well, it's not unheard of. I would say it's not uncommon. It's not unheard of for men of means to marry a nanny. But what she's saying is ultimately right. It's good practice. See, you got to ask yourself, if you were raised by a single parent, if you're raised by a mother, if you weren't raised by a nuclear married mother and father, born of a loving relationship where they planned you, like most of us, you weren't taught any of these things. Where were you actually taught how to be in a relationship, how to deal with one another. All right. Here's something I need to talk about also. If you're interested in getting your one-on-one virtual consultation, checking your image, understanding how to get your image together, there you go. If you have or need some advice, if you just want to chop it, if you don't necessarily feel like you need style advice, I got you covered. You just want to have more personal chat, you want to ask me some questions, as long as it's not style or career related, that's that link. If you're interested in coming down to Atlanta the first weekend of December, you have to be a patron of the channel. You have to be a patron of the channel. Join the patron of the channel. But here's the thing. I'm going to open the chat room because I want to actually get some women on here. And I want to hear some of the things you're going through. I want to hear some of the challenges that you're dealing with. I prefer you get on camera, but you don't have to. Here's the Zoom room link. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Well, you can go ahead and anytime somebody comes in here with the name of somebody else, you can go ahead and just get them off the channel. Like this. Yeah. Because here's the net of it. Holiday season brings out holiday season is where a lot of times people in general, women in particular, get real depressed because you don't have friends and family to hang around with. You have nothing to go to. How many women are brave enough to admit they need to knock the rust off their social skills, or they just need their social skills improved, period? Really? How many of you can do that? Say, you know what? There's something just ain't working here. I'm gonna go ahead and see what's going on in the waiting room. Fearless. What's going on? Big Willie, what's up? Fearless, can you hear me? I can't hear you. Moderators, do you see somebody coming in with political names? What's going on, Fearless?
Hi, can you hear me?
I can now.
Okay. I'll try to keep this brief.
Go ahead.
As quickly as possible. But so, I am legally married, but I've been separated the past couple of months. And some of you may know my story if you remember me, but
No, go ahead.
okay, so this gentleman, father of my children, I have 2 children with him. I felt like he was with me because he needed a green card. Basically, I felt like financially he fell short, but I don't blame him for that. I blame myself for accepting that from him. And so when I woke up, started watching women like Shira, and I said, wait a minute, I felt duped, I said, I deserve better. But at the same time, I know that I need to do better myself. So long story short, I asked him to leave. He left. And all of a sudden, he's paying my rent. All of a sudden, he's taking care of things that he normally would not have taken care of in the past. To the point where, he told me that he won't continue to pay rent for a place that he doesn't live in. And long story short, he's coming back tomorrow from flying in from Massachusetts.
Okay.
So at this point, I feel like I'm definitely ready to continue to level up to the point where I even want to travel internationally. I want to go to continents like Africa. I have some roots there, and I want to see what else is out there.
Oh, okay, so let me get this right.
Yeah.
You're married, legally married.
Yes.
To a man who's not the father of your children.
He is.
He's the father of your children.
Both of my children. Yep.
Okay, so how'd you end up watching Shira 7? How'd you find her platform?
You know what's interesting about that? I feel like when you watch one video, it leads from one video to the next.
Well, that's how the platform is supposed to work. But how'd you find? What were you searching when you found her?
I think, oh my gosh, I can't remember, but I know I was watching videos having to do with dating, obviously, but I'm just trying to figure out like what the tag word was, which I just know that I was in the video feeds for dating, and then all of a sudden, her video kept coming up, and I kept skipping over it, funny enough. And so finally I said, you know what? Let me click on her video. Let me see what she's about. So long story short, as far as the background, on my husband. So he was previously married twice. Okay. One of the marriages, he got married in the US and got a divorce in Haiti.
Okay.
So as I was preparing.
Well, hold on. Let me ask, okay. You said you felt like you were duped.
Yeah,
when you
I felt like
she was okay, but so you're married to a man and you have his children.
Yeah.
And you feel like you were duped.
Yes.
Why?
I felt like by the time that when he met me, I already had a master's degree. I was working as a teacher. So in my standard, I was doing pretty good. So I wasn't in a position where I was struggling. So it's not until I met him.
You're talking about money.
Money, exactly.
So let me get this right.
Yeah.
You're already married to this man and you have children.
Mm-hmm.
But because he's not making what you're making, you felt duped? And the answer is to go travel?
No. Listen, when I say, okay, the reason why I went into the background was because I had applied for his green card. Okay. And
which is fine. He's your husband.
But he made a stupid mistake.
Hold on. He's your husband.
I did. I understand that. I applied for him, but the government said no.
Okay, but he's your husband. He's not just a lame. He's your husband.
Right.
So how's he duping you?
Okay, maybe I need to go into more detail.
Well, because here's the thing. I don't particularly have a problem with some of the stuff Shira 7 says, because I'll be honest, Shira 7 couldn't fuck with a dude like me. She has to do with a man that I mean, come on. She can tell, and I believe that if she's married, her husband is perfectly fine with what she says, and that's fine with them. But what I'm trying to understand is why a married woman with 2 children felt duped because her husband doesn't make as much as she does.
Can I just
go ahead.
Explain why?
Go ahead. I'm trying to understand.
So there were certain situations where I didn't even know where I was going to live. So we lived in a shelter on and off. Okay.
Hold on. You said I didn't know where I was going to live?
We didn't know like where my family was going to live. We actually lived in a shelter on and off.
Okay.
3
times. So you guys
times.
went through some hard times.
We went through a lot of hard times, and I finally decided to move to the South, so I could be closer to my dad.
Did you move with him?
No. I live by myself, so I'm in my own
But
place.
you were married at the time?
Yes, still married.
Okay, so what about that part of the vow that's in sickness and health, for rich or for poor? I mean, you went through some tough times, so you left and went back to your dad?
No, I didn't even go back to live with my dad. What I did was I just moved to the same state that he lives in.
Without your husband?
No, I moved with him.
No. I just want to make clear. You decided to move back closer to home. Was your husband in that move or not?
Yes, he was. He was.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. My question is this, because you talk about your husband almost as if he's just a guy. You said, I went through some hard times. We didn't go through some hard times. You decided to move back to be closer to your family. Did that work?
It did, because
Okay, so but your family is his family too, right?
yes.
Okay, so where's the duping?
Where I felt duped was there were, when you first meet with that person, you have certain goals, dreams, right?
Uh-huh.
Promises are made.
Right.
And I felt that at the
Uh-huh.
level that I was at,
Uh-huh.
I felt like I could have done better.
Okay,
But
let's just get right to it.
Uh-huh.
You're judging this man solely on your money and achievement. So what I got to ask you is some straight up questions. Are you still the same size you were when you got married? Or are you bigger?
Of course, after having two
No,
children.
no. It's not of course. No, it's not of
Yeah.
course, ma'am. It's not of course. Did you gain weight?
I gained some weight and then I lost some weight.
No. Okay, I want to be clear, because he married you one way and you gained weight, right? See, and because you're making more than him, I don't understand why you felt duped. I mean, did he lie to you?
Yes, as far as the immigration
No.
stuff goes.
No. That's not what I'm talking about. How did he lie to you about his income?
Hold on, sorry. Not about his income, but more so.
Then you can't dupe somebody. Then you cannot be duplicitous, i.e., lie, if he did not tell a falsehood.
Mm-hmm.
This is making you look kind of bad, ma'am. You're talking about your husband, the father of your two children, that he duped you because you went to college. And when you went to school, was that during the marriage?
No, I had already completed all of my education before I met him.
Okay.
So I was already, well into my career at that moment.
All right. Okay. But did you have student loan debt?
Of course, yes, I do.
Okay. And is your husband fully employed?
When I met him, yes. And then after a couple of, I'd say about a year or 2 years into the marriage, then, his mother fell sick and he left his job. And since then,
so he's not working.
A lot of the problems started.
So he's not working.
Yeah, he wasn't working at after 2 years. He just kind of.
I'm just going to be clear. Is he working today?
Right now, yes.
Okay. And he was working when you were married?
Yes.
Okay. And you had student loan debt then too, right?
Yes.
Did any of his money go to pay any of your student loan debt?
No, sir.
Okay. So you're telling me that you had a separate account, he had a separate account. He's paid nothing for you over the course of your marriage.
Nope, I'm not. Didn't put me in a house or anything. Didn't buy me.
I didn't ask about putting you in the house. I'm saying, did you guys have separate accounts?
We did, and at a certain point, we did end up having a joint account.
Okay, so in that joint account, that means your money went in there and his money went in there, right?
Yes.
So if you had to make a student loan payment out of that joint account, I don't think you can tell me you had an accounting method to split his dollar from your dollar. It just came out of the dollars. Right?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, so let me get this. So what you're trying to paint is you're trying to paint this man in a position where he did something that you can't even explain what he did. When it comes right down to it is you think you're better than your husband because you got a piece of paper and you make more money. That's your right to feel that way. But I would tell you this. It is very unattractive to hear coming from a woman who's saying her husband hasn't done anything to her. He hasn't cheated on you, hasn't lied on you, and had no outside kids. He just happens to make less money than you. Hold on.
Sorry.
Hold on. He just makes hold on. He makes less money than you because his education is less than yours. But he did not lie about that. At every turn, you've tried to paint this man into a corner of taking or manipulating from you. So let me just put this out there. Let's say you divorced the guy. I mean, because you went Shira 7 and you went all savage on him, right? Okay. And he put up with that. Let's say you decide to still think you can get out there with 2 kids. Who gonna date you? Can you actually contend with the man like the guys I'm talking about? Would we accept that? Would we accept the one with 2 kids, college debt, who gained weight? You got a lot of bad stuff to say about her husband? Would we? Would any of these men? Huh?
Yeah, I said I'm
Hello?
with you. Hold on. Oh. Hello, can you hear me?
Did you hear the question I asked? Would any of the men that you feel like you deserve pick you right now?
That's a good question.
I can
I'd
tell you
say
no. I can tell
no.
you no.
I have
I
to
can
work
tell you
on it.
no. I can
Yeah.
tell you straight up no right now because you got
Mhm.
2 kids. I don't have to.
Yeah.
I don't have to deal with a school teacher with a overinflated sense of ego and 2 kids. I can go get one fresh off the truck. No kids, no baggage, no superiority complex. I have a suggestion for you, ma'am. Stop watching Shira 7 and start being grateful that you have a husband and it puts you in the less than 30% of Black folks. Start being grateful for the fact that you have a man who's the father of both of your children. Start being grateful that you have a man who will put up with your, no offense, man, but your rather entitled attitude just because you're a school. What do you do again?
So right now I teach English online and I'm a recruiter.
You teach what?
English. I
Okay.
teach English online. Yeah, and I'm a recruiter as well.
Okay, so are you making $100,000 plus?
No.
Are you making $75,000 plus?
No.
Are you making $50,000 plus?
Nope.
Where do you get off with this attitude?
The reason why
you got 2 kids, you got 2 kids in college debt, and you ain't even making $50,000 a year.
But I did at one point.
I don't care, but ma'am, understand it doesn't matter. I ask about right now, because right now you're older, heavier, and more jaded. And this is what I'm saying. If your husband were to come up and say, you know what, I'm tired of you feeling like you're better than me, forget it. And if were to divorce you, do you think you could actively on this dating market come in saying, hey, I make less than $50,000 a year with 2 kids, some college loan debt, and my husband walked away from me? Do you think that would actually sell on this market to a single man with options? This is the harsh truth you kind of need to hear, because you were trying to sit down and run down this man down at every turn. I suggest what you do, man, is when you get settled, go back and watch this live stream. And I want you to look at some of the things that the men and women are saying in the chat. Because I honestly, it really sound, this is outrageous.
Okay.
And I'll tell you why it's outrageous. The fact that you're married, you haven't said this man has been a bad man. He lacks character. And I'm wondering why you're watching Shira 7 and thinking that's going to make a healthy marriage. Again, I have no problem with Shira 7 and her content, but it does not lead to a healthy situation with 2 middle-class people. Do you not understand that?
I understand. The only tough part for me is, how do I reconcile living in shelter with a man who could have done more to avoid that in the first place? That's the only thing that I can't
this is how you reconcile. You stop trying to be God. The nerve of you. How about this? How about if people above you start judging you? I mean, let's just be real. How old are you? What age range? Are you in your 30s?
Yeah, I'm 34.
Okay. About how tall are you?
5'3".
And about how much do you weigh?
210.
Oh my. You're 5'3" and over 210 pounds. Ma'am, if you were to be judged as harshly on the sexual marketplace value as this man who fell down, because you're judging this man, but what you're not saying is when he fell on hard times, he did not leave. You took the vow for better, for poor, for richer, for poor, sickness and health, the good times and bad times, to death do you part. You weren't in that shelter by yourself. He was there with you. Right?
Yep.
Okay.
You're right.
What?
Hmm.
And you're upset with him. And how long ago was this? How many years ago was this?
How many years have we been married?
No, how long ago were you in this tough time or bad time? How long ago was that?
I'd say within a time span of 6 years of our marriage. So we've moved at least like 8 times.
Okay, but how long ago were you in the shelter?
Oh, just last year. I
Last year.
left last December. Last December of last
So
year.
so I want you to remember the movie from Will Smith, The Pursuit of
Hmm.
Happiness, right?
Yeah.
Remember that movie? People cheered Will Smith on because he was in a homeless shelter with his son because he was there.
Hmm.
You had a man that was there,
Hmm.
and you're upset because you fell on hard times with your legal husband and your children,
Hmm. Right.
and you want to punish him because he failed or had a hiccup or a problem. You said
Hmm.
yourself that he's working right now.
Yeah. Right now he is, and
Okay.
I give him credit for that.
No, you don't. You don't, ma'am. You really don't. You started off running down everything he wasn't. And honestly, he sounds, and I don't mean to be rude, ma'am. I really don't. He sounds like he's almost too good for you the way you talk about him. He did this. He didn't do that. He's this. He's that. And I don't mean to be rude, ma'am. I really don't.
Hmm. Hmm.
But you make less than $50,000 a year as an online teacher and a recruiter. You're not a high power corporate executive. You are 5'3", 210 pounds with two children. That does not make you a hot mama on the dating scene. I think you really need a reality check.
Thank you, my styling godfather. I needed that reality check.
You need a reality check. And
Hmm.
when honestly, if you were my client, I would tell you to go home and apologize to your husband and beg for his forgiveness because that man has been there.
Hmm.
If you disagree, ma'am, I really strongly encourage you to come back to this chat room and just look at what
Hmm.
your female counterparts are saying. And this is what I said far too often. Women in general, too often, our sisters in particular, feel like they're better than their men because you're making more than him. But you knew his situation when you guys got married. He did not dupe you. Let me just say this. If you were driving home this weekend, do you drive?
Yes, I do.
Okay. God forbid you were involved in a serious accident and you were paralyzed from the neck down, quadriplegic or paraplegic, whatever that is.
Hmm.
Would you think your husband would be within his rights to just step away from the marriage and say, well, she's not the woman I married. I feel like I deserve better. Should he
Yeah.
leave you?
Hmm.
You believe that? He should leave you because you're paralyzed. Did you say yes?
Yes, he would be within his rights. He would
Okay.
be. Um,
Okay, then
not gonna
ma'am,
sit here and lie about that.
then ma'am, I suggest you really don't understand what marriage is. You wanted a business arrangement. You wanted a partnership. There was nothing in your marital vows that you took that gives a man an out for a woman gaining weight in childbirth, being in sickness and in health. Is that not sickness if you're paralyzed from the neck down?
Hmm.
So how can you honestly sit here and say he would be within his right inside the covenant of that marriage to leave you? See, that's what you're not understanding. These things that you put all this value on, your so-called degree that ain't making you no real money. I made more money waiting tables than you make with your highfalutin degree. Let me check you right there. I made more monies serving shrimp on a weekend than you make with your high-powered degree that you had to go spend tens of thousands of dollars to get. So we need to check that shit right there. But if all the things that let us by your name, the things that put you, got your ass up on your shoulders, if all of a sudden you were involved in a situation to where that didn't matter and you couldn't lord that over your husband, would he sounds like the kind of man who would still be there. Ma'am, I suggest he's not the issue. It's likely you. So my thing is this. I always suggest, as nicely as I can, serious psychological counseling for both of us, for men and women, Black people in particular, because this is not healthy or normal, man.
God.
And then after you get yourself straight, you guys sound like you need counseling together as a group, practical counseling and then spiritual counseling, not either or, and because you are married. You have 2 children. Are those your children in the background?
Yep.
They're relying on them. Do you have a son or do you have a son?
I have both a son and a daughter.
Okay,
So.
I need you to understand something. Your son is relying upon his mother to look like his father as the man. Your daughter is looking at the way you carry on and treat your husband as her imprint for how she talks about man. Fearless, I got news for you. You have 2 babies. It ain't about you no more, boo. It's about those kids.
You're right.
I know.
I agree. Yeah.
I know, but ma'am, you're not spoken like that. When you got on this channel, you wanted to run this man down, and he's still married to you. And there, you moved from one place to be around your family, and he went. You didn't say you went to be with his family. You left to be with your family. And I'm going to go out on a limb here and say, I don't think you probably speak very highly of this man around the kids or even around your family. And he puts up with that. I mean, the nerve of you, all 5'3", 210 pounds of you. And I say that because I don't think you understand that if you were out here in the dating market with 2 kids at that height and weight, with your debt to income ratio and your earning, no. What do you think about things I just said?
I'm taking it with a grain of salt.
Okay.
And I'm really considering everything that you're saying.
And I can hear that. I can truly hear that. You haven't raised your voice or got angry. So I give you all the credit in the world for that, because these things are not easy to hear.
You know, the other thing too, what you're right about, you know, I think I allowed my family to get involved, you know, to dictate.
Yeah.
You know, well, he's not doing anything for you. You know, why are you sticking around? I mean, and I listened to that for years.
Yeah.
Until I finally said, you know what, maybe they're right. So I wasn't at that moment thinking about, okay, how is this going to impact, you know, not just our marriage, but our families and everything. So
you sound like, ma'am, this is why we must leave and cleave. This is why it is so important to get away from our families and not involve them in anything. Because see, the thing is, you guys can have an argument and you'll forgive him and go make love. Your family won't. The worst thing any of us can do is involve our families in our personal relationships. But the most important thing is, this is the holiday season. You got 2 babies in the backseat who love you both. And he's with you. This man has been there in a homeless shelter with you. Don't you think he'll be on the mountaintop with you too? He obviously loves you. Men don't stick around to be honestly abused and treated ill. They don't love a woman.
Right.
How about give him credit for that? Okay, he doesn't make what you want him to make. I can hear that. You know, I'm the guy that preaches 60 hours a week. I can hear that. But how about you inspire your husband? Because he loves you, obviously. How about you stop worrying about the stuff that really is inconsequential? That's why I made that example about the car wreck, because, man, it ain't that much money you're talking about. And I can tell you that I date every weekend with women who are younger, no children, in great shape, who would love to have even a whiff of what you have. Don't lose that over nothing. Here's an assignment for you. Okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
This is gonna sound crazy. I need
Okay.
you to watch episodes of a TV show on YouTube called Kitchen Nightmares.
Uh-huh.
Watch episodes where families own restaurants. And then watch where Chef Ramsay comes in and sees this restaurant being run by a family. And then
Mm-hmm.
there's one with this Greek family and this man by the name of Sam. Watch the transformation that happens in these episodes when people stop focusing on their petty disputes and squabbles and start working together and come together as a family, because that's what you have. A husband, wife, and 2 children. You have what many people dream of. Start valuing that. Start valuing each other. Learn how to work with the man you have, because there was something about you that made you want him to say, I do. Get back to that instead of, and forgive yourself too. You got to forgive yourself for getting on this. I'm better than him. I got a master's and all that other kind. You got to forgive yourself for that too, but stop doing that. You got to forgive yourself. You got to forgive him. You got to forgive each other, and you got to move forward on the same page. Can you do that? Can you try to do that? All right. Hope she can try to do that. She got disconnected.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you now.
Yeah. I asked myself, is this really what I'm supposed to be doing right now? Because, I allowed the chit chat from, external forces.
What do you mean? Was this what you're supposed to be doing right now? What do you mean? Questioning your marriage?
No. Yeah. Well, exactly. Trying to move on. And I couldn't bring myself to do it. And I'm still faithful to him. That's the crazy part about this. I thought that I would just be able to move on.
Well,
but
I think ultimately, it's wrong.
Yeah, exactly.
You haven't seen anything he's done wrong. See, you really want to garner respect with your family? Tune them out.
Mm-hmm.
Tune them out. Detach
Right.
with love. Let them say what they have to say, but don't involve them in anything else you guys got going on. And then you guys just move forward on your own page. The chatter will die down once they see they can't move you.
Mm-hmm.
Can you try just some of the things I've talked about?
I can.
All right, and I would love to hear some feedback. So my email address is in the description. Watch those kitchen nightmare things. Watch a couple of them by yourself, and then watch some with your husband, and then just especially with the family ones, and then just see how people get to really focus on what's important versus the stuff that, honestly, we're not talking lots of money here. We're talking about middle-class living. Okay. Well, I appreciate you calling in. Do you have anything else you want to say?
Well, he's coming tomorrow, so I'm gonna do exactly what you told me to do.
All right.
And ask for his forgiveness.
All right. Well, love on them kids and make sure your son sees you loving and respecting his father, because you don't want that boy to grow up to be a self-hating man. And make sure your daughter sees it too, so she knows what it looks like to make a mistake, but make it right.
Right.
It's the holiday season. Enjoy each other. Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Bye-bye. And guys, see, we oftentimes get kind of for those of guys who don't understand where this happened, I ran the singles ministry at church for a long time. I'm probably about one of the strangest image consultants on the planet. What image consultant gives marriage advice? But anyway, you see how when we start to look how important image is, once we have it in our mind that something is a certain way, we will look for all the information in the world to validate what we already believe. It is called confirmation bias. So let's say if I see Ethiopified in a chat room and I say, Ethiopified, I want you to meet Brad. Keith. Keith is a solid dude. He's a CIA man. He's a good character, good dude. I just hype him up. And then she meets him, and Keith is kind of off his A game, kind of comes across as abrasive. you think she's gonna be like, oh, he's nothing like Kevin said? Or you think she's gonna give him the benefit of the doubt and say, oh, he must be having a bad day? You must be going through something right now because Kevin spoke so highly of you. She's going to give him the benefit of the doubt because she already has a positive image of him from me. But what if I said the same dude? Yeah, I want you to meet my boy Keith. Oh man, he kind of, he's, I don't know. I mean, yeah. Then she run up on him, and he gives the same thing. Do you think she's gonna give him the benefit of the doubt? Hell no. She'll be like, And see, that's why image is so important. That's why, you know, I've been called all kind of things on YouTube. Gay, this, that. I've had people say, you're a scam artist. And I'm like, wow. But I've got enough learning and training. And I actually had to go back to school to learn how to take all the skills I learned in sales to actually talk and counsel people and hear what they don't want to say. I didn't come to YouTube. I came to YouTube to talk about this and this stuff. But this is where the need is, and we need to hear it from each other. I believe that people, when given a chance, really do want help. But we got to do the work after that. I think that was, that was a great call. Wow, I don't really think you can follow that one. If you're interested in attending the ladies event, it's December 7th here in Atlanta. If you're a woman and you're interested in attending, we're going to get together and we're going to have a boardroom kind of presentation. Then we're going to go out to the field and have a practical. We're going to do some style, some fragrance. We're going to try on some cool, you're going to try on some cool stuff, some cool shoes, looking good, smelling good. You're going to have your pretty woman moment. Then we're going to actually put it to the test. We're going to go on the road and have that red carpet experience.
My first met Kevin. That it was an awesome call.
Appreciate it, fam. I want to see each one of you ladies walk down that kind of red carpet as we go to dinner and have a great meal, great fellowship over maybe some wine, exchange some stories, get to kind of know each other, then kind of go out that evening on the town, maybe go to a nice lounge, hear some music, be in a good kind of environment in the Buckhead area, because we're going to be in the Buckhead area, because we're going to do it up. And then the next morning, we're going to finish up with a mimosa kind of pamper brunch. There's going to be some pamper stuff going on there too. Sunday, I think we're going to do, because I don't think we have time to do it on Saturday, but on Sunday, we're going to have brunch, and it may be a pseudo spa day where you go get a manicure, pedicure, maybe a quick massage. And then the ladies who are more local, try to get your flight to where if you got to fly in, give yourself enough time to have, where the event is over around 4:00, you can catch a 6 or 7 o'clock flight out. It is going to be fun. And I really want the ladies to come in and let's just kind of talk and get out there. And you meet like-minded women who can be a support system in addition to everything else you have going. I don't teach femininity. I don't teach female etiquette or anything like that. That's what Nicole Michelle's of the world, Anna Bays of the world are for. I teach image. Look good, smell good, and get your feminine sexual energy thing going on, like who you see in the mirror, and then help you become the best version of yourself for you and everybody else. So if you are interested in attending, drop me an email at bykevinsamuels.com. If you're interested in attending, email me at this address. All right. Let me make sure I have no more. I want to make sure I get all the super chat questions. Thank you guys for hanging in there. I know that was a long call, but it was good. Follow Miss West for femininity. I don't know why I deleted that, but okay. If go check her out. I'm off. Okay. Analytics. Let me see. Shout out to Sterling the Investor. Shout out to Angela Bryan. Shout out to Iman Buckner. Shout out to the Tahitian. Shout out to One Titans, brother. You earned super chat for this combo. Appreciate it. Shout out to Tank Johnson. You my styling godfather. She need a reality check. We all do sometimes, fam. Shout out to Mr. RJ. Salute my brother Samuels. I like the new look. Rock on, man. It's turtleneck season, fam. Shout out to Sarge. Great message on the meaning of marriage. Appreciate it. Shout out to Brian S. Look, man. We all need a reality check from time to time. And harsh truths can be told in, polite ways, but they're truth nonetheless. Yeah. So, ladies, come on down to Atlanta. Let's get some pampering things going on. Oh, and there's I don't want to get that out of the hat just yet, but some stuff going on with David Uriman. Yeah, it's going to be great. I want to see the women show up. Show up, ladies. What colognes do you got on in back? Okay. So this one is a fragrance that I did a review on. It's from Diptyque. It's a boutique exclusive. It's called Benzoin Boheme. It's a sweet, vanilla kind of ambery fragrance. This is the one I just talked about, the dope one from Louis Vuitton. Ombre Nomade, sexy in the bottle. This is Gucci Intense Oud. But the real standout item, this one. This is from Henry Rose, and it's called Dark as Night, Vanilla and Patchouli. These are 2 room sprays from Diptyque. This is my morning room spray. It's called Bay. It's berries. It's the most popular candle. It's my evening one. It's amber. They also have another one for the season. It's called Pine. That's a candle from Diptyque, Narguilé, honey and tobacco. And this is my MIT Dallas candle. This is Laura 62. Look, man, my fragrance I'm wearing today is La Lobo Tonka 25. Look, do yourself a favor. What are you doing, Dino? Come on, man. Ethiopified, you got time to get on here? Ethiopified, do you have time to get on there? Look, man, feng shui your life. Man, make sure your spot smells good. I don't care if you are staying in a Motel 6. Go get you a Glade 99-cent candle and light that joker. Make sure your spot smells good. You feel me? I don't care. Make sure it smells good. Because when something smells good, it just changes. I don't go into the psychology of it, but it just changes your neurochemistry to where you're just dealing with it. I just want you, and trust me, especially Fearless. Trust me, fam. Trust me, sis. Get you something that just makes you feel good. Spray it in your house. Spray it in your house. So every time you smell that, you remember the good times. It's like grandma's cookies. It's like your mama's fried chicken. You put scents around your house when you have a good memory. So when it's the bad times, you spray it and you remember that good time. You take that picture. Trust me. We can do a lot to change our mindsets. And then from that, change our mindset, change our outcome. That's what I was working with the men down in Dallas. We all got issues. We all got problems. But when we decide to change our mindsets and then do something about it, let me say this. You do something, especially to my guys. Oh, Ethiopified, you don't have to get on camera. You can just get on video. You don't have to get on video. You can just be on audio. But send me an email. I need to get you on here. I need to get more women on here. Understand something. Gentlemen, what I'm about to tell you is so important. What I'm about to tell you is so important. Trust me. Do this. I would rather you do something and make a wrong decision than do nothing. Oh, this is so important. When the world sees you, but women in particular, when they see a man who looks like he's frozen in fear, it's the worst parts of the Bible. Look, go the wrong direction instead of do nothing. The old Karate Kid thing, stay on the curb, you're safe. Cross the street, you're safe. But if you walk halfway, you get squished. A wrong decision is better than no decision. Let me tell you why. Because at least if you're going the wrong way, you have new data and information to say, I'm further away. I need to change course. But if you're not doing anything, you have no new information to make any decision. And you just get stuck in a loop. Ladies, for the ladies who are listening, how do you feel when your man or man is sitting in front of you and he appears to be scared to move, too afraid to make a decision, afraid that he's going to make the wrong decision? Ladies, I need you guys to tell me how you feel when you're around a man who's afraid to make any move. Did I purchase the boots? Boots, y'all like that one? I love this boot right here. It's called the Gianni cap toe burnisher brown. Michael B. Esquire, yeah, man. You know I'm always getting booted up. See, so many of us guys who were raised without a daddy, we're afraid to be wrong. And we're afraid to do the wrong thing. But when you stand there, like, because you're frozen in fear, women lose all respect for that. People lose all respect. There you go. Coco said it. It feels unsafe. I got to do a show on this, guys, because and I'm learning as I go, man. I'm human too, man. I have a lot of ain't shit moments, man. Look, I am just a guy. I do what I do well, but I don't walk on water. My shit stinks too. I have fucked up a lot, and I will continue, but I'm going to always try. But got to do a show on no motion. I need all the men to just commit to do something. Anything is better than nothing. Thank you to Sister Fearless for calling in and being honest. And guys, we gotta give women, some encouragement. If we really want, here's the thing. This world's 51% women. We're gonna have to figure out how to deal with each other. Because it cannot be continual. And when a woman comes to a man's space, works up the courage to call or get on the line with a man, because I know, I may be political, but I'm not easy on women. And for a woman to do that and risk being laid bare in front of 300 people plus, we got to encourage that, to hear what more women are thinking, so they can hear what these CIA men are thinking, so we can all try to kind of get on the same page. My ultimate goal is to have a group of CIA men and a group of FBI women in the same city or the same place doing some stuff, and then let life just take and let this happen. I can't do that all by myself.
Thought-provoking stream. To Fearless Maluba, I hope it works out. Thank you for the inspiration, Mr. Samuels.
You're welcome. We all get there together. There'll be some bumps, some hiccups along the way, But I truly believe that if your mind is an abundance mindset, and I'm working inside my gifts, inside my purpose. I can do what I do. I'm looking for a lot of you guys to actually start stepping up too, men and women. I'm looking for you guys a movement is more than just about a person. We're doing this together. when I was out in Dallas and I ran into the young lady who was like, I'm an FBI, I'm an FBI. And she was all excited and stuff. And she wasn't just excited for me. She was excited to meet the guy. She's like, I follow you guys. I see you guys. She was ecstatic. And I thought that was so dope, man. I honestly thought that was so dope because men got a chance to see that, you know, it ain't all bad out here. What's going on? It ain't all bad out here. It really isn't. And, I know we can get focused on contentious arguments and we can get to the point to where we're all making our points. But I like to ask the ultimate question. What is the ultimate point we're trying to make? We're all trying to make our points, but what is the ultimate point we're trying to make? My goal is to try to help people become the best version of themselves. And here's that sister I was talking about. She was all cheesing. You see that? She's all just cheesing. Like, hey, I met those guys. And I thought that was so cool, man, because and she's like, I watch you guys, I watch the channel, and I'm a proud FBI. And I mean, she was into it. And she's like, yeah, I watch for my my boy, my fiance's account. And so I'm like, okay. So I said, guys, understand something, man. That you got women watching the things we talk about and not saying a word. And I said that to the guys, and some of the guys are like, nah, it really can't be like that. Then it was like, well, wait a minute. Like, well, wait a minute. Look at, she got her hand all out to the side, little feminine kind of striker pose. And the person over at the Chanel counter was like, who is this guy that you're all excited about? And that's what's really cool, man. I'm not gonna lie, that's pretty cool. And then she went out and met some of the other brothers. That smile is not fake. See, when these brothers heard me talk about women are actually paying attention, I even asked them, I was like, part of y'all probably is like, yeah, you exaggerating, you just kind of overselling it, da 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 da. I'm like, okay. Then they're even like, yeah, man, hey man, I didn't know it was like that. And I'm like, yeah, it is like that. Because when you're talking about hope, when you're talking about possibilities, that's what we do as people. We want answers. We want, a better outcome. And and it's not for one person to have all the answers. It's just for us to have the conversation and get there together. All right. Thank you folks for joining. Shout out to the patrons. Appreciate you guys. It's almost 4:00. I got something to do later on. Thank you guys. If you're interested in attending the event in Atlanta on the 7th, email me, ladies. If it's 3 women or 30 women, let's get it done. We're still going to have some fun. All right. Until the next time, talk to you later. Peace.